Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Chris Sost, and I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Gig Economy Lounge. Today's going to be about how do I combat the influx of summertime rideshare drivers. Now, it's especially bad here in Florida, but I'm sure it's just like this in every other state. But every single year, going into the summertime, there is a huge, massive influx of drivers that come out onto the road. Now, I'm not talking about the people that come from other markets or other states or other cities, but I'm talking about new drivers that weren't driving 3 months ago. And this is above and beyond the normal increase in just overall, people becoming rideshare drivers. So who are these drivers exactly? Well, they're school teachers, they're professors, they're part-time professors. They are, whether it be school employees or university employees, qualifying college students that are either on summer break or qualifying college students who have just graduated and they are either doing internships or they just need extra money during the summertime. It's school bus drivers and even parents who send their kids off to summer camps. Now, just thinking about this list of folks, there's nothing wrong with people utilizing Uber and Lyft for exactly what it is today. It's something that's going to help these people get through the hard times of summertime because their jobs don't have anything going for them during the summer times. Now, there might be some college professors that still teach classes during the summertime, but I can tell you this much, there are less college classes during the summer than there are during the fall and the spring. So this is especially devastating for the part-time college professors. Now, Uber and Lyft are great for qualifying college students, looking to earn extra money. Number one, they're going to relate with the college crowd late at night. And number two, they're not really going to drive a whole hell of a lot of hours. So why are they jumping onto the rideshare bandwagon every year? Why is it so appealing? Much for the same reasons why most of us are joining the gig economy these days. There's no commitment to these companies. They can start and stop whenever they want. They need a job during the summertime while they're out of school, and it helps pay for various activities throughout the rest of the year. I've actually ran into people who drive for Uber and Lyft simply to pay for their college kids' education. It's a great way for parents not to go in debt in order to send their kids to go to school. Now, to get into the meat of it, I want to talk about the things that we as rideshare drivers can do, the people that drive full-time, in particular, this one's for you. I want to review some of the ways you can ensure that you're getting the requests while you're driving. Now, there's no secret formula necessarily. There's not some magical app or anything like that. But there's certain things that we can do to help curb the downturns for us. And just want to digress really quickly, especially for drivers in Florida or touristy areas. One of the reasons why there's a huge downturn in demand during the summertime is most of the traveling that's going on. Miami, Tampa, Pensacola, it's not like they're seeing a decrease in the amount of tourists coming to the area. It's the type of tourists that are coming to the area. So think about it. If people are traveling during the fall, during the spring, and they have families, guess what? Their kids can't go on that vacation. So it's an adult vacation. No need for a rental car. But when you're traveling during the summertime, what are parents doing? They're renting cars because they're bringing their kids. So there's less need to use rideshare. Now, one of the best things that you can do as a rideshare driver is learn the ebb and flow of your market. What do I mean by that? Well, if you open up the two free apps that everybody has access to, the Uber Rider app and the Lyft Rider app, you can do things like see where all the drivers are at. You can see the rate at which, requests are being made by them dropping off the screen. You can learn things like when are the times you can think of logically when are the times people are most frequently going to request rides. Early mornings, rush hour, late nights, all these things. But that seems to be trivial, right? You'd be surprised how many people are out driving. I'm recording this at 12 o'clock today. You'd be surprised how many people are out driving at 12 o'clock in the afternoon on a Thursday. It is what it is. I know what the top line amount that you can make during this time in the city is, and it's not for me. So learning your market, learning the ebb and flow of your market will go a long way in helping you dodge what I would call the summertime rideshare blues. And I went into this is actually tied to a previous episode I did about data-driven rideshare strategies. So if you haven't checked that episode out yet, you can go back on YouTube and it is there. Another thing you can do, and this is something I did when I first moved to the Tampa market, and this is what I do anytime I move to a new market. You can build a book of riders who frequently use rideshare apps. Now, we've all had riders we would love to get again. Don't be afraid to ask for that business. Just don't be afraid. You know, if somebody goes to the airport and you get a $37 ride to the airport, $50 ride, whatever the hell it is, and you see that they're in a suit and you go through that conversation and they tell you things like they travel frequently, I would be all about trying to get that rider as a client to where I can bank on that ride either on a weekly, bi-weekly, or at least once a month basis. You have enough of those people and you start to build up a book of business, a book of clientele, whatever you want to call it. Now, there's a few ways that you can go about that. I am all about that free life. If there is anything I can do for free before paying, I'm going to do it. But one of the tools that are out there is a third-party app called Apex mobile app. This will be great for drivers who, work in teams. So let's just say 5 other drivers and all of you are business minded. Well, what you can do with this app is you can refer riders to it and you kind of build value in the app by saying, hey, if you like riding with a driver like myself, download this app here. You can make a request. And I'm gonna give you a couple other names that I know of trusted rideshare drivers, just in case I'm not available for your reservation. Special note, Apex is not a TNC, so you still have to use the Uber and Lyft app. I would in no way, shape, or form ever recommend anybody does any kind of cash rides unless you have a business license and you are commercially insured and you are legally allowed to provide transportation for hire outside of the TNC apps. Just a side caveat, there is a monthly subscription to that. So like I said, if you're working in a team, it's great. If you have too many people, if you're signing up too many people, it'd be a great app to put them on because, they can pick other drivers, or they can add other drivers as favorite drivers. So moving forward, a free option is you can exchange contact details. This is probably the most frequently used technique. So some drivers have business cards with their phone numbers and email addresses on it. Some people have Google Voice numbers. There's a whole plethora of different options when it comes to exchanging, details. This doesn't work with every passenger though. Obviously, if you haven't built that great of a rapport, they may be kind of reluctant to give you a call just simply because they don't want you to have, their personal contact details. Another free thing that you can do is you can set up a Calendly. I believe it's Calendly, Calendly account, which is nothing more than a calendar account, and they can actually request, book times with you through that. So that way, there's no exchange of information. They can just say, hey, I need a ride on this time, and you can either confirm or deny. It's up to you. But this will go a long way with business travelers and workers who use rideshare to get to and from their jobs on a frequent basis. If you're driving full time, the name of the game is creating some sort of consistency because you don't want spikes in your income. You don't want your revenue chart to look like the Rocky Mountains. You kind of just want it kind of as flat as it can possibly be. You don't want it to go too high and you don't want it to go too low. So finding passengers that are either business travelers that travel on a weekly basis or, people that are average workers at any kind of establishment around your market who use rideshare to get to and from work daily or, at least a few times a week. These are all great people to take in as your book of clientele as long as, you guys get along and they see the value in the service that you provide. So the key to this is that there's some sort of connection there, right? So you are doing something that quite honestly, they're just very pleased with. Maybe they've never, experienced a great ride or they've had, a string of terrible rides and they're just ready to find a driver that they can trust to come pick them up. This may be a way to circumvent the summertime rideshare blues, if you will. Another thing you can do, and once again, I'm going to lean on a previous episode, is constantly collect data on your daily routines and see if there are ways to increase revenue during low hours. For instance, if it is slow during the middle of the day, maybe take a break or sign up for other gig economy apps that may be busy during those slowest hours. In the gig economy, there is no one platform that will get you where you want to get to. It's really that simple. I don't know why, but some people find it beneficial, I should say, to just drive Uber or just drive Lyft or just do Uber Eats or just do DoorDash or just do Tackle. By the way, there is no sign-up codes or anything like that in these episodes. Tackle is a great up-and-coming, on-demand app. If you have any kind of handyman skills or handy person skills, Tackle is a great app to be a part of. I know here in Tampa, Florida, it's pretty big. Same thing with Roadie. During the summer times, if I was driving rideshare full time, I would probably really start getting into DoorDash, and I'd really be doing food delivery during the middle of the days. But if you're constantly tracking your data and you're seeing what hours you're making the most and what hours you're making the least, then you have a better understanding of where you can make changes to increase your income. Another thing that you can do during the summertime blues is learn a new skill or start a new low-cost business that can generate additional income. I know one of the big things going on right now is drop shipping. Me personally, I'm not into it. There's affiliate marketing. There's all kinds of things that you can do that generates additional income that takes up little amounts of your time. It might be a great time to learn a new skill and start one of those businesses. This one is really for those full-time rideshare drivers. Having a side business that you are building will help you generate more income in time. So, if you're getting screwed this summer, the idea is if you learn a new skill and you start a new business, you're not getting screwed next summer. You kind of have to learn that, the classic definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So try something new, learn a new skill, start a low-cost business. I hear a lot of conversations going on. Oh, I'm too old to get a real job. Age discrimination. There's all kinds of reasons why people can't go into the traditional job market. The good news is there's never been a better time in the history of the world to be starting a business than right now. Like, we have the fucking internet. The internet doesn't give a fuck how old you are. They don't really care how good looking you are, unless you're getting into certain types of businesses. Like, bring something to market that people will buy, people will pay for, and you will make money. It's just that simple. And the final option that I will bring up, which should be fairly obvious, it actually gets brought up on social a lot, is find a consistent traditional job if you can. That will give you some sort of stability and income, and use rideshare to fill the gaps. Right now, places are hiring beyond belief. All kinds of places. Even if you get a shit job, right? Let's break it down. Let's get the shittiest jobs that we can. McDonald's is hiring, Burger King is hiring, Subways are hiring, Walmarts are hiring. Just retail in general is hiring. There's a ton of shitty jobs, and then there's also good jobs out there. But I would say that having a job that's shitty during the summertime that brings you a certain level of income, and then you go out and do, rideshare in between because you have no schedule with that, will put you in a better place overall come the fall, right? Than just trying to struggle and grind it out doing just rideshare or gig economy, on its own. So you have two great options: learn a new skill, start a new business, or, find a part-time consistent, job that you can get. They're two great options. But I want to end with this. No amount of venting frustrations, some people might call it bitching, I'll just say venting frustrations, or attacking other drivers will actually change your situation. Only taking actions that don't require others to join you will change your situation. I'm going to repeat that last one real quick. I just want that one to sink in. Only taking actions that don't require others to join you will change your situation. I see it all the time on social when people just fucking bash other drivers for either being happy about something or, heaven forbid, if somebody refers their best friend to Uber, it's like the end of the fucking world. It's like drivers just harp on them like they were never the new driver on, on the Uber app or something. Like, get the fuck out of here. Come on. Am I advocating for, signing up your friends to drive for Uber? No. But guess what? If I have a friend that says, "Hey man, I'm thinking about signing up for Uber to earn some extra money on or earn some extra money on the side," I'm going to sign him up. Fuck. Who am I to tell him he can't do that? Why am I going to shit on him? Why? Because it's going to take money out of my pocket? Are you serious? Do you think he's not going to sign up any other way? Do you think that they're not going to find their way to signing up for Uber and Lyft? I have yet to get onto any type of Google search, engine, and there not be some sort of rideshare, advertisements. It's just that simple. So I don't understand why people are attacking other drivers for either signing up, other people that have asked them about it, or, attacking people for not jumping on board with any type of organized protest or anything like that. Like, I just don't understand why we're attacking each other over things that really don't fucking matter. Like, honestly, it's none of anybody else's business what another individual's doing. Like, if somebody doesn't want to strike, fuck it. That's them. Like, don't try to make them feel any less of a human being simply because they don't agree with you. So, moral of the story is if you're looking to combat the influx of summertime rideshare drivers, review the information that I just went through. And if you find any value in anything that was shared today, I think if this is on YouTube, there's a little button down on the right side somewhere that says subscribe. You can subscribe to the channel. You can share this video. You can share the channel. It's all awesome. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for sharing your opinions and views, and have a great day.